So, first of all, I am Italian, based out in Newcastle, so like great combination for you guys. I don't think I have still the Geordie accent, so I think you will be able to understand me, fortunately. I've been in GE for 12 years, so you may ask how a GE guy may talk about new age talent. And the reality, it perfectly fits with our company now, because I'm part of BHG, Baker Hughes GE company, which is a company that has been basically created just July 2017. So basically not even 1 year of existing of this company. And what it makes this company completely different from all the other GE businesses is that we are a publicly traded company. So GE owns 62.5% of our company, but the rest goes directly to the New York listings. We have our stock. We may have also a path to become completely independent by GE. So for us, how we become a little bit more independent by General Electric and how we are able to attract people because we are BHG and not GE, it's an extremely important subject. So this is our purpose. So everything always starts with the purpose, and it's really we invent smarter ways to bring energy to the world. And fortunately for us, and also for our Shell friend, the reality is that for the next 20, 30 years, natural gas and oil will still really require to bring everything to the energy. So definitely that's a great opportunity for us and all for all the other companies in the oil and gas industry. So who we are. So this combination happened, as I was saying, in 2017, and we are right now around 65,000 employees, and with more than 100 plus countries around the world. So our presence is spread across the globe. Just to give you an idea, in UK we are around 8,000 employees with several locations: London, Bristol, Aberdeen, Newcastle. So we are really spread across the globe. As I was saying, global and local. For us, it's very important to have also a local presence because our customers may be Shell, maybe the big, let's say, oil companies, but maybe also the national oil companies such as Petrobras, Petronas, etc. So for us, the local presence is extremely important. That's why we are always spread around the world. Digital, I think digital for us is key. And is key because you wouldn't think that for the oil and gas industry, digital is so important. In reality, even in the oil and gas industry, we are trying to make revolutionary things, like understanding when a machine is going to broken and then we don't have the supply anymore. So through the data, we will be able really to serve our customer and give the services that they need. Even because, remember, if we don't do that, even companies like Microsoft or other company in the digital space, we will be able to do it just with the analytics. Even without the expertise of the machines, of the services, they will be able to provide the digital space. This is one of the most important things that then brings to our topic, which honestly I made in a way that it needs to be extremely interactive. It's not gonna be, again, we are pretty new as company, so definitely I want you guys also the feedback of what you are doing in your own company around this topic. But when it comes to our people, you need to remember that we are part of GE, so 100 years plus, but at the end of the day, we are a new company. So how we bring this true spirit of new age, entrepreneur, new ideas in a company that is extremely known to be process-oriented, metrics-oriented, matrix. So for us, it's always important that we are able to balance these two spirits, and then they work really, really well together. Full stream for us, it's one of the most important words, and the reason why is important because as provider within the oil and gas industry, we want to really be a full stream company, which means that we will be able to provide services and product in all the different spaces, like upstream, downstream, and midstream. So this was the reason really why this company was created. At the end of the day, we were able to bring these two different companies together. One thing that is very important here is when you look at all the different, let's say, sectors, you can see upstream, midstream, and downstream. When it comes to upstream, from evaluation to completion is mainly services. So we provide products, but then we install everything on the oil field services space. All the rest, usually, it's product that we install, but the product capabilities, the manufacturing capabilities, are way more important. Now, moving to the driving the business upcycle. What it means driving the business upcycle? It means that, fortunately, the oil price is going up. So after 4 years of restructuring, going down, cost out, we will be able to do right now the upcycle of the industry where, and I have my colleague from the recruiting team here, we need to hire something like 300, 400 people per month. So right now, the people that we need to hire, the amount is huge. And as you can see, as you can think, we will approach really the new age talent, because we won't go anymore to the old, I mean, not necessarily to the old generation, but also the new generation. And just to give an idea, right now, out of 65,000 employees, our 30% of our population is already what we call millennials or Generation Y. We have around 3–4% of post-millennials already. So the generation, so the population that we have in reality is already the new age. So going back to the new age, which is something that we have been discussed, here you can see some of the things that, let's say, we are having through the fourth industrial revolution. And I mean, you guys spoke already before in some of the other presentation, the jobs are changing. So things definitely, we will see that even people that they go to school now, when they go out from the school, 65% will work things or job that they were not existing before. So this is, I mean, as our colleague from Vodafone was saying, it's a little bit scary because right now we cannot predict the future. However, we definitely need to navigate the future, and we need to understand that things will continue to change pretty dramatically. And these are really the trends. We talked about the 3D printing, we talked about the things that happen around the world that can have definitely an impact on our job every day, on our company every day. So definitely when we plan any recruiting activities, when we talk about workforce planning, we really need to start thinking about things like that. Think about, you need to hire, I don't know, 100 people in Nigeria. You definitely need to think about how I'm gonna address the visa issue, the nationalization issue. All these things needs to be taken account whenever you start and plan really the recruiting in this country. So our HR strategy. Here I just listed a couple of things that definitely as a new company we are thinking of. Nothing dramatic, nothing that you guys haven't seen before, but for us as new company we really need to work on. The first one is really the employee value proposition for BAG. As I was saying, the company is new. Everybody may know GE. Of course, I mean, majority of people know GE. Some of people, especially in the oil and gas industry, may know Baker Hughes, but not necessarily they know that now a new company, a new full stream company is existing. So definitely the employee value proposition, how we are attracting the talents in our company, it's gonna be key. The second one is the long incentive reward. And I will make an example here to, let's say, address a little bit this. I've been in GE for 12 years, and honestly, my career has been pretty lucky in GE. However, GE didn't give so much, let's say, the reward through stocks and shares, unless you are really at the top of the top. What we did right after the company, we started to give shares at all the levels of the organization. And the reason why we wanted to do it is really because it's a way of having the employees more connected to our company. Because right now, and that's the other change that is existing in our business, we are not an internally focused organization anymore. We have investors, we have customers, and that's where how we basically can really influence the performance of the organization and then also the stock. So if we're doing well, basically I'm getting more money just because my stock is gonna be better. So we know that in the stock market, not necessarily this is an equation, but the reality is that our employees really feel that they have more power to influence their outcome. New leadership program. And this is very particular because the leadership program that we decided to create, it will be called Aspire. So very similar to our conference. And the reason why we want to create a new leadership program is that GE is very famous for the leadership program. I did myself the HRLP program, which is the leadership program for HR. However, we wanted to create something very specific for BAG. Again, not necessarily because we are going out or in from GE, but it's really because we want the employees, the people that we are attracting, feeling 100% part of this company. So the way of how we are structuring this leadership program, it's going to be a unique program with different parts where even people can change the paths. So in that case, it's going to be a very good welcome for very fresh talent, very fresh graduates talents that can join our organization and going through this program. And finally, the campus recruiting and university relations. This is something that usually we do well in US. I mean, especially in Houston, we have a very strong connection with the local community. However, we are trying to expand this capability across all the world, especially in Europe and in Middle East, where we have, especially where let's say the oil and gas industry is well known. The other important component that we are trying to do is the recruiting strategy. And again, we have Tom here, and if you have any question, you can definitely ask to him. But what we are trying to do from a recruiting strategy is really to basically create different triggers that they will basically have a different kind of effort from a recruiting perspective, so sourcing, market engagement, and media leverage. So depending on how long we had the requisition open, so an open position, we will be able to trigger really different kind of effort in order to fill that specific opening. And that's for us, it's important because as we were speaking with Tom before, maybe in let's say Newcastle, where I need to let's say recruit some people, we may have a specific need of how we want to post the job, on how we want to advertise the opening, etc. While if we are hiring a field services engineer, we really need to go in Houston and try to get people in the right way. let's say, advertising on Facebook, on LinkedIn, maybe won't be enough. So I think we will be able to really, let's say, adapt the approach that we have to the different openings and asking then through IBM the right, let's say, support that we need. So this is where we start with a little bit of interaction, because again, I think it's important for us really to reflect on how altogether on how we can really tackle the new age talent strategy. So the first question that I have for you guys, how to attract the new age and talent for a conventional industry? Definitely the oil and gas is a conventional industry. It's not a super cool industry like Vodafone, Google, or Apple. So what do you guys in your reality do to attract new talents across your industry? Anybody?
Well, I think from experience of working with the clients that we do, we've worked with clients that have had similar problems. And I think it's about telling the story. So telling empowering employees to tell the story of what it's like to be part of, in your case, Baker Hughes, and sharing that story with sort of local communities where hiring pools are likely to be, and then spreading those further afield to start attracting people through education around what it's like to be within that organisation and show that it's perhaps not the conventional view that's been traditionally associated with it. So I think storytelling and empowering your people to share their experiences is a good way of opening up that a talent attraction to a wider community that perhaps don't quite understand the industry as it is today.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else?
So if I look at for Shell, and what we do is we go back to the purpose. So we set the purpose and use that as a heavy as the way in and positioning ourselves as the oil, gas and power industry. Yeah. So I think articulating what the vision of the organization is and what the purpose is and what the role of the person is in an organization is very critical to kind of dust off the image the organization has, yeah, and to present a really refreshed picture looking forward.
Do you have any, let's say, any measure on how is going that?
So I don't have any measure, but we have integrated resourcing VP. There's a lot of data, obviously, on the refreshed whole recruitment strategy we have, on the data we're using, artificial intelligence we're using. So obviously, there's a lot of data available on how that works. I personally don't need data.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think it echoes what they've said actually, but the first question to answer is what's in it for me? And I think if you're looking at, being able to target certain elements within the workforce, whoever they may be, is being able to answer that lucidly and sexily, right? So have some really good showcases. So have those people who work for your organisation today telling their story in an exciting way. And that's nothing more attractive than somebody that can see somebody else that they are peers with, or they can see has got a really great success story to bring them in. You have a great tagline because you have the GE piece there. So it's not like you're totally unknown, and I would leverage some of that as well, because that can give you a little bit more legs than just a new startup organization coming into the market fresh.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think for us it can be a little bit easier because again we have the infrastructure there and we have the unique opportunity to say, you know what, that infrastructure, yeah, I want to go there. So definitely we are not a startup, so no, that needs to be clear, even because 65,000 employees, a startup would be very tough to...
We're the same, and we're part of Samsung, but you wouldn't know it. So it's really about making that story compelling, attractive, interesting, so they get the first bite and then carry on that story.
But do you think that that's changed across the, let's say, the generation? Is it what you are saying, is it gonna work across all the generation from Y to Z to...
I think everybody needs a compelling story. It doesn't matter what age group you are, but it has to be believable, truthful, and have integrity. And it doesn't matter what age you are. At the end of the day, if you can subscribe to that, you've got to hook in to start that process. So from my side, we employ all age ranges across the generations. It's about making it fun, right? There's nothing more on a LinkedIn advertising that just speaks to process and, you know, acronyms coming out of your head that individuals don't really care that much about. It's about making it fun, appealing, and it doesn't matter what age you are, I think.
How many of you in your company in the different culture or I don't know, whatever, beliefs or whatever you guys call it, you have fun? Oh, nice. I'm trying to change because honestly, we don't have it, but I'm pushing to put it. I think historically, GE never put it fun, but I think what we tend to put a lot for us is courage, which is not the same, but I think fun is definitely something that it's important. So yeah.
I think with fun you can't enforce it though. You have to empower people to have fun. So one of the things that we do is we have ambassadors for each. We've got a network of ambassadors, and they're given a budget to work with their colleagues to spend and have fun in ways that they think are fun, because what I might think is fun in head office is not what a team out in Bracknell or somewhere else thinks fun. So we're just empowering them to have their own fun. They've got their budget, they don't need authorisation, they can spend it how they want. And I think when you enforce fun, then it only becomes fun for kind of a subsection of your population. So it's something that happens naturally.
Yeah, we have created something similar in our system because for us there was the old evaluation, then we moved to something called performance development, which is not really performance evaluation, and where we give feedback, people constant feedback. We put it within the tool also, let's say the opportunity to give awards with an impact award, and we give to all population and budget that they can use and give to all the other colleagues. So that one is going pretty well for us. Okay, second question, how to retain new age talents? I think the third one is gonna be the most interesting part. What about anything that you guys do for retaining the young generation?
I work with Avon here in the UK now, and used to be GE 14 years, so
nice.
We can catch up later. One of the things that we've done, I support the supply chain organisation, and we've actually put in place an advisory board of the millennials. So we have
nice.
We have our supply chain leadership team, and we have an exact duplicate of that, but they're all millennials, and we meet them on a quarterly basis, and we just talk to them about stuff that we're thinking about doing to get their input and their ideas. And we've had really positive feedback, and now we've got people saying, well, how do I become a millennial? How do I get rid of somebody else on the board because I want to be on the board? So because we're consulting with them, we're talking to them, and we're giving them opportunities to learn that they wouldn't normally have access to the level of people that are in our organisation, on that kind of regular basis. So we've had very positive feedback about
This is the G freaking me that is asking the question. Are you measuring that? Do you have like less attrition on that particular generation?
Well, I guess we're constrained by how big it can be. So
yeah.
we only have 12 people on there at any one time.
Okay.
So so in terms of kind of measuring it, have we still got the same people that we had when we started it a year ago? No,
okay.
Because we've had some people that have left. But we've always had a stack of people that have said, well, how do I then get onto that? So it's clearly attractive to the millennials.
Yeah, that's good.
I think also some of the stuff that Anne spoke about earlier is understanding what your people want, and it might be a lateral move rather than a vertical move. So I think workforce planning in a very individual way is key to keeping people, particularly what we're calling new age talent and millennials, is that they get itchy feet and they want to do something else and they want to experience more and do more and contribute more. So I guess it's having the finger on the pulse through, again, some of the work that Anne displayed and understanding what the individual wants from their journey within the business, I think is critical too.
Okay.
I do think it's an element of red herring, though, I have to say. same, and I want all that. I'm not a millennial.
No,
I agree.
Yeah.
I paraphrase. I think it's for everybody. I don't think it should be age restrictive at all.
Indeed, I don't
Yeah.
either, and I think it can be distracting sometimes to, you know, the approach might well differ simply because of, you know, we do live life in perhaps slightly different ways, but I think what we want, and therefore what you're trying to address in the sense of attracting and retaining, is exactly the same.
Yeah,
We want purpose, we want a voice within the organisation, we want to be managed well, and we want to trust the organisation that we work for, and we want that across, I think, all of the generations. 5 minutes, by the way.
Oh. One thing that we did when GE developed the business in digital, we really try to mirror a little bit startup, but also Apple, Amazon, etc. And I think that the piece of sharing a little bit the risk from the new generation is very important. So the fact that, okay, if I fail, I fail, but if I really I have a success, for me, it's really a success, though. So that's I think the reward system. Of course, people are not interested just in money, but we need to find a way, probably when these people really invent something particularly important, we need to find a way to recognize them, because it's the only way really then to retain them. The last one, which honestly, really for the logo of GE, it's the one that worries me the most, is how to leverage the entrepreneurial spirit, because when you have a so process-oriented company, you completely kill any kind of innovation spirit that the new age can have. So what do you have in your own company right now on how really to, let's say, make sure that people can really embrace their ability of risking, failing, inventing, and then rewarding? Anything?
So one of the things we've done as a people leadership team is devolve a lot of our decision making, which has been quite difficult. We've used people presenting ideas to us and us making the yes or no decision. So through doing that, what we've discovered is that the guys are more engaged. So in our engagement surveys, we get people feel like they're trusted to make mistakes, but they're also trusted to go and make those decisions themselves. And as a team, we have to be quite strong to say, even if we don't necessarily agree with something, we're going to let it go unless we think it will be an absolute go away and do those things and make those decisions, reach out to consultants and other companies and come back and sort of spend the money as if it's their own budget. Then you do get more of that spirit and you do attract more of the right people.
Yeah, I guess the okay to fail is something that it resonates across different companies. Then honestly, the practice is a little bit different. I think a lot of companies really need to learn on looking at the failure as an opportunity to improve and not necessarily as. So, okay, good. Thank you so much for having me. I think it was a very good discussion. So, thanks.